Hey, you don't look confident, Bo. You don't look confident when you're doing that. You don't look confident.
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense
He got the
Todd.
winning Super Bowl touchdown.
Okay, got a catch. Anybody could have made that catch.
The Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, Ohio State.
You did it, man. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Guys, y'all got it. Comic. Guys, y'all.
I don't know what the trade details are. Hold on.
Woo!
They got
Woo!
Worthy.
Xavier
Worthy.
Worthy.
Isn't that crazy? It's been 11 months since the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and we're it's gone by so fast.
Oh, it's time to piss straight off. Pull up a picture of 81. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Rashad Smith.
Rashad Smith. Let's go.
There it is.
Oh!
The Chiefs have done their perfect draft.
Dre's gone. I don't know where he's gone.
Yo, welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From my homes to the defense, we can be the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate troop.
All righty, welcome back to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, the ChiefsBlitz.com podcast. I'm your host, Nick Athan, along with Mr. Hense Todd, Mr. Lou Montagna, Coach Andre Tillman. It is Victory Monday as the Kansas City Chiefs embarrass the lowly, down and out, bad Las Vegas / Los Angeles / Oakland Raiders. 31-0. It probably could have been 51-0, but Andy Reid pulled up Patrick Mahomes midway through the third quarter, and that was enough. And here we are, guys. How'd we like our Sunday? Better Sunday, right?
Yeah, it was kind of confusing for me. I kind of woke up. I couldn't sleep because I was like, you know me, I usually stand up late because I know we're going to have a late game, but I'm like, didn't get up till like 11 on Sunday. Then I was like, oh, shoot, missed half of the game when was in London. And, hey, it was a heck of a – I didn't even cheer much on Sunday. I didn't even cheer. My wife said, is they winning? Are they winning? I'm like, you know me, I didn't even cheer much. I didn't even clap. I didn't do much. I just sat there and took my notes and said, hey, they are following the game plan. What about you guys? At the bottom?
Hold on. Wait. What the hell? What you mean you just sit there and took no? What are you talking about, bro? I think that's BS. I think that's a whole load of BS. I'm smiling cheek to cheek, ear to ear, big ass grin in your face. I know you're talking about.
Call him out, coach. Call him out.
Damn, I'm talking about he wasn't happy.
He's got the talk to text working on the iPad, diagram the plays.
He wasn't excited. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was very impressed with the Kansas City Chiefs out there, man. When Rice came back, I knew Rice was gonna go out there and have an explosion, have a big day. So, like I said, I was impressed, but I wasn't like, wow. It was like Rice is back. This is what the Chiefs offense looked like with all their weapons right now. So I was, I said.
But before he cut me off, I was trying to say I was more impressed. I was just sitting there looking at number 74 and said, "Oh my God, he's the best offensive lineman in the league." I don't know, man. He's out there looking legit. Even Romo said, "Hey, without the false starts, he's a 91% out in the NFL." So, hey, I'm just saying. Go ahead,
Hensley had the ISO cam on Jawan Taylor's butt. Come on now, let's go. We've had I don't know how many. It's been like 4 weeks or 3 or 4 weeks in a row of like early football for me. And East Coast kicks at 9:30 a.m. So I've been kind of a routine, but then there's always like a lull after that game because the Chiefs don't play for like 6 hours later, 7 hours later. It's like, oh my God, it's an early kick. I got to be ready to go. So, and then at a certain point, you almost felt like you were watching like video from training camp. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, except there was 60,000 or whatever, how many 70,000 people at Arrowhead watching this practice. So yeah, it was just very strange, just strange. As dominant as the Chiefs were, it just seemed kind of surreal at a certain point. And you thought
that's why I told you I wasn't cheering that much. I was like, is it actually happening? I guess an actually NFL team out there playing.
This is a professional team on the other side. At some point, they're going to start moving the ball a little bit, but never happened. And it was just really very strange Sunday afternoon.
I put in our group chat amongst us. I was like, Lou and Mango, I said, you know what I mean? They probably cut from your game. You know what I mean? Because if you're watching the game, I was hoping it did. They just kept.
But the thing is, it did. If it would have been closer to like the 4 o'clock. I mean, because the Chiefs game ended so quickly. I mean, the clock was. I think they just switched to a running clock in the second half and just said, "Let's keep this thing moving." I'm sure Coach Reed signaled to Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll signaled back, "Let's just get the hell out of here." But yeah, so it was just very strange. And then kind of, I guess where my blood really got elevated was watching the Giants and the Broncos. And I was in and out. I was watching the Colts and the Chargers for a little bit too, and kind of peeking, going back and forth between those two games. And I'm like, man, I mean, the Giants, this is legit. I mean, 3 quarters, it was 19 zip. And like, what's happening with the Broncos right now? And then like the fourth quarter was just a game in itself. It was like just completely the if you watch Stranger Things, the upside down. And it was and as much as the Broncos did to win the game, the Giants did everything they could to lose the game. So that got my blood boiling a little bit, because it looked like the entire AFC West was going to lose outside of the Chiefs, of course. And the Giants said, "Nah, we're good."
They was kicking ass out there, though. They was, man.
They were.
They was kicking tail.
Let's get into our sponsors, Nick.
All right, let's talk about our new sponsor, old sponsor, current sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Play now in Missouri, play 5. I think they've got $100 special going right now for bonus dollars. So you definitely want to check that out. You can win money playing on sports. NFL this weekend, 1,000 times up your money. It's just a great opportunity. We make it easy right here. Just hit the QR code. It says scan here. Goes to our page. Make sure the promo code Chiefs Blitz is in there. Play 5, get 100. And I keep saying I'm going to give stuff away. I mean, I got let's see.
It's a visual medium, Nick. How about you
show us? I got a
there you go.
Hall of Fame from number who's that from? I don't have my glasses on. Isn't that terrible? Number 68, Will Shields. Right there. That's one of the prizes.
Just your average Kansas City Chief.
Just your average Kansas City Chief. So there you go. So, hey, listen, I'm willing to give away my stuff. Here's the deal. You got to get it to 100 between now and the end of the season. And we'll give you that bonus. Also, the Chief Shop is open. $1,250, $200 discount for this. Emma Thomas, Lynn Dawson, Will Lanier, Bobby Bell, Johnny Robinson, Hall of Fame signed football, free shipping. The case is included. Plus, you'll get another item valued at $100 from the Super Bowl IV area. You can't beat that. So check out chiefsblitz.com/shop. Got a bunch of stuff in there, a bunch more going up this week. And I am finally gone through my cards. So I will be sending out the cards to those that I promised here this week. And I swear on my heart and my Kansas Jayhawks.
Had a good weekend.
But they will go out this
Nick.
week.
You get sorted through the stuff, going back. There's receipts out there. So you got to.
There's receipts. I have a lot of receipts out there. So I don't think I'm an Indian giver.
I believe your boy Christian Braun just got a new deal.
Did he? Good for him.
With the Nuggets. Yeah, I believe so.
Good. I'm glad he's staying with the Nuggets. I think it's a good team for him.
So rock chalk
Jayhawk. Big week Saturday, KU K-State. And what better be Lance Leopold's the head coach defining moment, because he has not won many big games at Kansas yet. So we'll see what happens.
Speaking of college football, just looking at the new poll, and I don't know that I would ever have imagined this at 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old. But here I am at 62, and we have Georgia Tech and Vanderbilt, our top 10 programs in football.
That's just insane.
What is happening? It's like the upside down. I'm pretty sure College Game Day is going to Nashville for the Vandy Mizzou game.
They should.
So that'll be.
That's going to be a great game. Mizzou pulled one out.
Nashville's got to be just insane.
Okay. So with that said, let's get into our updates, Lou.
All right, here we go. From the rap sheet, Omar Norman Lott. Their second rounder this year, meaning speaking of the Chiefs, suffered a torn ACL. This is just awful. And is out for the season. Sources say the promising young lineman turns his attention to a full recovery for 2026. That just sucks. He's been kind of like injured since OTAs to some degree. Somebody may have mentioned earlier, not amongst this group, but amongst people within the Chiefs Blitz umbrella, that it had something to do with him putting on weight. I tend to be very trusting of the training staff and the nutrition people, the strength and conditioning people for the Chiefs. So again, two different things happening there. Of course, they want him to be strong enough to hold up for an entire NFL season. I don't know that he ever played a full season at Tennessee. So, hey, shit happens, I guess. Pardon my language, but it is football. People do get hurt. You hate to see it, especially so early in a career, and really never got things rolling for himself just because of kind of, the nagging injuries, and then boom, you get hit with that, especially on such a it's a big loss.
It's a big loss. It's a big loss for them, and it's something that they're going to have to. All
right.
So now they have to get a defensive tackle. Go ahead.
Gold MCT Charles Goldman. Per Chiefs head coach Andy Reid, quote, "As far as Josh, that Simmons, goes, I don't have any updates for you. Veach is handling all of that." So kind of status quo here from last week. More from Charles Goldman, and again through Coach Andy Reid speaking on offensive creativity. Listen, the guys enjoy those. I think they're talking about the trick plays and all that good stuff. If they're sound, that's where I've got the 51% of the thing, basically saying that, hey, these guys are going to bring me plays. If I'm not feeling it, I've got 51% of the vote. It's either in or out. So we practice them. By the time we use them, we feel like they're part of the offense. That one, had we not botched it up, the snap count, it would have scored. So that was when they had Minshew and Patrick in there at the same time. Yep. They were going to, pitch it out. The Rasheed was going to walk in. So didn't work out so well. More from Charles Goldman. Wow, this guy is getting some run, talking about Brashard Smith. I think Matt's done a nice job, along with Todd and Mark, of bringing him along. Now, Matt, I'm assuming, is Nagy, Todd Pinkston, right? Mark DeLeon. Is that? I would imagine.
I think so.
He's talking about there. He's catching the ball well. I like where he's at now. He's picking things up. We just keep coming with him. I think he also had mentioned, and again, it was just kind of as an aside, and oh, by the way, he's got the protections now. And I think that was kind of, as we were talking about his snaps going up, that was probably the one thing that was keeping him from getting even more snaps. Yesterday was a big day for him, because at a certain point when they decided they were going to stop throwing the ball, he got every carry. So he had like 14 carries. But before that, he had 5 catches, almost 50 yards. Certainly looks the part to me. But yeah, Brashard is going to keep coming along here, and he's going to get more and more touches as we go. And here we go. Matt McMullen, straight from the Chiefs website. Patrick Mahomes won his 93rd regular season game yesterday, passing Peyton Manning for the most wins at age 30 or younger in NFL history. Mahomes is now 93-26 for his career. Just absolutely amazing.
That's just incredible.
Let's go, Matt. More from Matt. KC is the only team in the NFL to score 28-plus points in each of the last 4 weeks. The Chiefs led the NFL in total yards per game during that span at 411.8. So to say the offense is humming is an understatement. 4 straight games, no penalties, only 4 pressures allowed, and no quarterback hits, let alone sacks. This is from D-Mac Wake. Kansas City Chiefs are getting the very good tackle they paid for in Juwan Taylor. So now we're getting the very good tackle that went after. So hey,
yes.
I'm just saying.
He's
right,
playing. He's playing good football, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been bashing his ass for the last year, and my man been kicking ass.
That was for Sam and Drake, man. That I just had to put that one in there. and Drake. That's all.
I think Romo was onto something there, that he actually, there was so much light shined on him for the penalties that you kind of missed out on maybe how well he was doing when he wasn't committing penalties, because that was all you would see. And that's all and that kind of became kind of like the narrative. God, he sucks. All he does is get penalties. But on the plays that he doesn't make fouls, he's done all right. So
yeah,
I don't know if it's $28 million a year's worth, but we'll see going forward.
Well, it is right now, considering the
I mean, we'll see what happens. As we get near the off season and what they decide, if they're going to move forward or not. But this is the big one for sure, and I know Hense is big on this. 4 straight games, no penalties.
No penalties. That's all we need.
Let me interject something here. I know a couple of people have wanted to get an update about Josh Simmons. At this point, the Chiefs are not putting him on the non-injury list, and it's all this speculation is out there, and all these things are written. I put an article up over the weekend. This is a family issue. It is nothing more. It's serious, and his timetable of return is when he can give 100% to playing football. And right now, I think the family dynamic is very important to him, and so I don't think people need to worry. And even with the injuries to Trey Smith with the back, and I think he'll be back. That's just my 10 cents.
So what they said, let's get into, the shutout. 31-0, a Cheerio.
Boom.
They only had 95 yards total offense. That is like a newborn.
Can you have less than 0 in a game? Is it possible to be less than 0 in a game? Just a couple things, and these are some superlatives, and some of them you would get from the latest scribblings from our own Hense Todd. You can go to his article on ChiefsBlitz.com and see some of this. But yes, 3 first downs. 3. We're not talking about the first possession, the first quarter, the first half. 3 for the entire game. 30 total plays. I've always said the best way, and I'm sure I stole this from someone, but the best way to play great defense is to play as little defense as possible. 30 plays. 30 plays. The guys didn't even work up a sweat. So you mentioned it, 95 total yards, 0 for 7 on third down. Obviously never hit the red zone. And 17 minutes. Somehow they got 17 minutes in time of possession. I don't know how that happened.
And Lou, you even mentioned the game is 60 minutes, right? And you got 17 minutes out of 60 minutes. And let do the math, my math correctly. The Chiefs got 45, 47, something around there.
Well, 43, yeah.
43.
The rest 43 of the
to
game.
17.
The rest of the game.
And I think Daniel Jeremiah put out a tweet. He said he went to he was watching the all 22, and it was just the Raiders' possessions. It took 4 minutes and 45 seconds for him to watch.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
So do you think are the Chiefs the best team in the NFL? Are they the best team in the NFL right now? I know we you guys. The Colts are looking good. The Broncos somehow, like Lou said, put up 30 points with 14 minutes left.
33 in the fourth quarter. I mean, seriously, they did nothing the whole 3 quarters.
So are the Chiefs the best team in the NFL, Nick?
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to argue against them at this point, the way they played. I mean, they're still 8th in the playoff seeding, so they haven't quite qualified yet. But I mean, their Super Bowl, their playoff odds have increased, I think, 54, 55%. You just look at the way they manhandled the Raiders. I mean, it's a division opponent. And generally these games are competitive. And then you look back at Patrick Mahomes' career against the AFC West, and it's a sick number. And I think
35 or 36-6.
Yeah, it's 30 games or 28, 29, 30 games over 500. It's just mind-boggling when you think about it.
Years from now, they'll be studying this and saying, how the hell did this happen?
They absolutely will. And I think for me, I think they're the best team in football. AFC, NFC, I don't think it really matters right now. I like the Bucs. They got a huge game tonight against the Detroit Lions, a wounded Detroit Lions team. It's going to want to get their mojo back. That's going to be a great game. We're going to really know if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are real. But I think if you just look at the overall scope of all the NFL teams out there, not even looking at the schedules and the games they have to play, but the coaching pedigree, the quarterback pedigree that the Chiefs have, give them a huge leap over any other combination in the AFC and probably in the NFC.
Yeah, and I'm kind of agreeing with that. Or I think they're the best team. You know what I mean? A lot of people had them dead at 0-2. You know what I mean? And they, we seen with the Eagles start losing, we see how their locker room turned out, right? Everybody was complaining, and everybody's putting everybody under the bus, but you didn't see that coming from the Chiefs locker room. And then the Colts are playing well, you know what I mean? The Broncos and this and that. But the Chiefs they still have the best quarterback. We know when they get in the dance, they're gonna come and steal your girl. They're gonna come and steal the girl in the club, like what's his name said. But other than that, man, I feel like the Chiefs are the best team. If they do have to go on a roll in the playoffs, what, they going into a dome? You gonna put Patrick Mahomes in a dome? This defense in a dome? You know what I mean? It's gonna be a light show. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a lights out. It's gonna be over with before the game starts. So yeah, I think the Chiefs are the best team in the NFL right now. They playing the Washington Commanders coming up, and probably they won't have Jalen Daniels out there, right?
That's too bad. I wanted to see that.
Jalen Daniels probably ain't gonna be playing. He's probably not gonna be playing. So you're gonna be getting a backup quarterback with Chris Jones and this defense playing.
Marcus Mariota has a pretty big win in Arrowhead.
Yeah, he does. I don't want to play. He does just haunting me still.
Yeah, but other than that, man, the Chiefs are the best team. The only way you're gonna stop them from being the best team is pull their key guy. And a lot of people say, "Oh, get this person." Their key guy is Spags. If I don't know why the coaches, the open jobs keep looking over him. Stop looking over him and not give him an opportunity. He only had one opportunity with the Rams. He played there with coach there 3 years. You know what I mean? All these other guys getting second chances, and you telling me a guy that put up, have a head of offense, NFL offense for 95 yards, and he's not getting a coaching job open, a second chance, and have a multiple Super Bowls and as a Hall of Fame coordinator. This is the reason why this team is the best team in the NFL, because they have not one coach. They have 2 coaches that's on this team, 2 head coaches. They got Andy Reid and they got Spags. You know what I mean? 2 head coaches. So they beat you on both sides of the ball. There ain't no way you can get around it. Go ahead, coach.
Hey, somehow Dave Toad just took a shot.
I didn't say that.
I'm gonna say this. How good the Chiefs are, and the Chiefs playing the high low because they got Rashee Rice back, guys. We know Chiefs has some scrutiny with a defensive tackle situation. So I will get the Chiefs that they beat down Oakland Raiders, LA Raiders team. They did. They went out there for belt to ass, as they should.
The Lions,
yeah,
the Lions as well.
And Geno Smith and them guys been off. They've been playing like shit half the season. But when you go to the Colts are just as balanced as the Chiefs are. Let's face it, Quinn Nelson over there, man. They guard over there, bro. That boy, they playing football over there, and they just high powered as the Chiefs are. Let's be real. Just as many points as the Chiefs can.
Out there and they back up quarterback.
And their defense is decent.
They come up, put up points on them. I can't see the coach.
Who would you stop on the coast? Who would you stop on the coast offense? Who would you stop? Ty Warren playing phenomenal at tight end. You got Pittman looking good. You got Taylor looking phenomenal.
You shut down
guys. Like they spread. Hey, they play just as good as the Chiefs do. You gotta give them credit. So I believe Chiefs is right there, but I do believe the Colts is number one for me.
Yeah, in standards.
Yeah, I
gotta pick somebody.
Whatever. Whatever.
I think
I'm just saying.
Chiefs are probably the hottest team right now. Remains to be seen if they're the best team. I think we're going to learn that probably over the next 4 or 5 games. Like they come out, if they come out and they beat Buffalo beat Denver, obviously you got Washington in there as well. If they're playing with Mariota, you would think they're going to be heavily favored they're going to be favored in just about every game they play.
Right.
So
they had
the best team. I think they're certainly headed in that direction. And it's pretty damn close at this point as far as how close they are to being the best team. I mean, Vegas immediately kind of sees it before everybody else. All of a sudden, they're the favorites to get and win the Super Bowl. Patrick is now the betting favorite to be MVP. So those guys are normally pretty smart. They're not. Now, again, all sorts of things can happen, injuries and so on. As far as the Colts are concerned, they are a pretty complete team. The defense maybe doesn't have a bunch of names that, household names, but Buckner in the middle, Kenny Moore in the back. They've got some injuries. So yeah, they have given up some points, but no, offensively, you said all that about the Chiefs. You can say that all about the Colts, but it's been every single game this year.
Yeah,
so
they've been the most consistent offense in the league.
I mean, and the thing is, you talk about how Patrick's spreading it around. I mean, Jones is the same thing. You got, Tyler Warren. Again, the Bears have just this may have been as bad as them taking Trubisky over Patrick. Okay, where they take nothing against Colston Loveland, but Tyler Warren is just the next level athlete and could do everything.
Yeah,
and he's arguably the best tight end in the league right now.
Right.
Again, all due respect to Brock Bowers, he's injured. There's some other guys, Trey McBride, obviously, he's really good. There's a bunch of really good tight ends, but he is playing at a very high level. Pittman can beat you. Alec Pierce, who is a guy that I don't know if people sleep on him. I don't know, because he's a wide receiver. I mean, people don't think he's that fast. I don't know what it is, but Alec Pierce, he gets deep every single game and he makes plays.
Amazing.
So they've got some weapons. And then Jonathan Taylor's like the unicorn running back right now. And all the talk is about Bijan and Christian McCaffrey, which, again, it's completely deserved. But Jonathan Taylor, he's kind of back to where he was a couple of years ago. So,
scary.
That team, that's going to be a huge game. Chiefs play them, I think, week 12. So the Chiefs have – I mean,
the Cowboys.
They're going to have every opportunity to prove it on the field. If they win in Buffalo, if Indianapolis comes in, they beat them. They beat Denver, the other division rival. So now all of a sudden it's like, okay, who's going to beat them now? They are headed in that direction.
You're right.
And I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks. I don't care who they play. I don't care where they play. When they play their game, they're going to win.
I like what everybody's saying about the Colts, but when Spags is on his A game, he shut down all your top running backs.
Oh.
So you can bring Taylor, you can bring Saquon Barkley, you can bring Robinson from the Falcons, you can bring all those other guys, and they had pedestrian numbers against the Kansas City Chiefs. They get stopped at the red light and they can't move. So all that will be done.
My point is that let's just not put the cart ahead of the horse. Let's get there.
Well, that's Mr. Gold Jacket. That's his MO.
Right now, they're sitting. What are they sitting at? 6 or 7-1. They've been pretty consistent all the way. The game they lost to the Rams, again, you're an 80 Mitchell brain fart and whatever away from winning that game too. And the Rams are a pretty damn good team too. So let's not leave them out of this. I think they're going to be up there.
Well, we shall see. I can't wait to that game.
Yeah.
But how worried should you be about how worried should we be about the Broncos?
Well, I mean, I've been touting the Broncos, all off season. I thought they'd be the team that probably was going to be able to compete, against the Chiefs if Bo Nix didn't have a slump in his sophomore season. And apparently he stinks in quarters 1 through 3 and plays lights out in quarter 4. The 33 yesterday, the 19 against the Eagles a couple weeks earlier. He was terrible against the Jets.
Hot at that gate.
And they still won. Yeah, that was my only F-bomb of the game was just the way that game fell to pieces in the end. But anyway, listen, Denver still has one of the best defenses. Now, I'm not as impressed with their secondary as I was initially before the season. I think they've given up some big yards. They've given up some points. But if that pass rush is humming, it's one of the best in the National Football League. I'll say this: I think Colin Cowherd kind of referred to Bo Nix today on his show as the Klay Thompson dropping 35 points in a quarter. The other 3 quarters, he doesn't do crap. So I thought that was a pretty fair analysis of Bo Nix.
Yesterday anyway. So listen, I think the Broncos are going to be a thorn in the Chiefs' side. Their schedule is weak. I mean, it is not very challenging. They got the Cowboys this week. I think the Cowboys offensively are a much, 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 much better team.
The Chiefs on their schedule.
Hold on a second.
I'm just saying.
So, let me answer the question.
Man cook. Let him cook.
Let me eat here a little bit. I would be concerned with any team that can play defense that well. But what I saw yesterday, when the Chiefs don't have penalties, they don't turn the ball over like Lou said, and they play like that, there's not a team in the NFL that can beat them. Zero, none, not a chance. If they play mistake-free football and they don't do stupid things and they don't make big mistakes, I mean, let's be honest, Patrick Mahomes probably could have thrown 2 interceptions on Sunday easily. There were 2 right in the hands of Vegas defenders, and they dropped them. So, the game maybe changes. Maybe it's 31-10. I mean, the Chiefs were in no jeopardy of losing that football game at any point. So I think I'm concerned about Denver if they gain momentum and they gain confidence. If they beat the Cowboys this week, I think they're in a stretch where they have something like 6 home games left and 3 away games. That's a huge advantage for them because they've had so many games on the road to start the season. So that's what I would be concerned about. If they find the ability to score points in other quarters besides the fourth, they're going to be a tough team to go up against. And that game in Denver, that's their whole season. That's going to define who and what they are. They get a mini bye week after that because they play the Thursday night prior to that Sunday game. So this is their Super Bowl. This is their gauge meter. And if the Chiefs have beaten the Redskins and beaten the Bills, they get their bye week. They got 2 weeks to prepare for Denver.
Commanders.
Commanders, Redskins, whatever. I'm concerned. I'm not overly concerned, but a confident Bo Nix could create damage for the Chiefs defense, I think.
Well, as I watched that game and I went back this morning to look at the all-22 film with the Broncos game to study how they came back. And you see why Brian Burns was upset after the game. You dropped 8 back to go coverage in that game and let them come back the whole when the fourth quarter when the game is on the line, you keep dropping 8 back. Why? Why not putting the pressure on the quarterback? Why not keep the same defense that you was running out there to stop them? And the Broncos could have been beating that game. Jackson Dart and that goddamn Scatterboo look like legit steals in this freaking last year draft. The guys is out there playing lights out, and whoever called the defense for the Giants calls in the game. Even the kicker too. The kicker sucked, man.
He missed 2 extra points, and I think it primarily when it was right after the Giants had come back and scored to go up 32-30. They missed the extra point. I think on that drive, it was a good kickoff. They pin them deep, and then the strength of their team is that down 4. You pay these guys for these situations to go and close the game, and you drop 8. Now, he got lucky. He was thrown to Sutton, and the other guy caught it. But, yeah, there was really bad decisions. Oh, God. I just
but again, how worried are we about the Broncos? Should the Chiefs be worried about the Broncos? I don't think they should be worried at all. The way I've been seeing this offensive line, not just Taylor, but Kingsley himself. You know what I mean? Kingsley himself just looked like a whole superstar out there.
He's got his confidence now.
Yeah,
you know,
he's good.
His Madden rating should be raised up high. I don't know. I'm just saying. Ocho Cinco, if you're watching this. But again, Kingsley is out there playing lights out. The offensive line is playing lights out. Like Lou and Dre said, if the offensive line plays nasty, this team is unstoppable to be beat. Patrick Mahomes only got sacked one time, and that wasn't because of the offensive line. That was because of Isaiah Pacheco didn't protect, you know what I mean, the guy that was coming off the edge. Yeah, so other than that, man, the offense played lights out once again. Not just because they just the Raiders, as Coach stated earlier, they are an NFL team, and it's every given Sunday. So, hey, you strap up to put on your laces, and you put on those shoulder pads. You must play, not just give up 95 yards. But again, just not just average in 95 yards, but the Chiefs shouldn't be worried about the Broncos. The Broncos, soon they play a good team with a good offense, and George Pickens and CD Lamb go out there and cook those boys. We're gonna see what the Broncos, what they really are, what they really about.
Find out.
And Jadon Blue for the Cowboys is looking good too. I'm just saying. Go ahead, Coach.
Javonte Williams, ex-Bronco.
Peep, guys, peep. All that shit happens in the fourth quarter, guys. Like, come on. The Broncos are inconsistent. Very inconsistent. The chemistry with Bo Nix and the wide receivers is not there. Let's call it what it is. The Chiefs should not be worried about the Broncos, honestly. Their defense is always stout. But the Broncos is inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? They barely won that game. They should never have won that goddamn game. Because, like I said, like Jackson Dart is a steal. Scatterboo is my guy from Arizona. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is this. Them boys play ball, and I give much love to Jackson Dart and them guys, bro. That part, Lou. So here's the thing is, the way the Chiefs plays right now, I don't have no worry at all about the damn Broncos because they're not gonna put up points. Simple. So
fair enough.
Well, that could have something to do with it. I mean, they had nothing to lose. Obviously, they start winging it around the park, and for 3 quarters, they couldn't get anything going. They played the Jets over in London, and the Jets did everything they could to lose that game. They couldn't score whatever. It was 13-11. Now they did kind of come back in Philadelphia again, a mad dash at the end of that game where the Eagles just went offensively silent. It seemed like for 3 quarters of that game, they just stopped scoring. So again, their offense is not as consistent, but I mean, they are a good team. They've got good play, and defense normally does travel. So you have to have some concern over that because, you know, at any given point, they might explode for a few points here and there. And the defense, again, from a pass rush perspective, can be problems. So again, are they good enough to beat the Chiefs? Again, if the Chiefs play their game, they're not going to lose to them. They're going to have to contribute to the Broncos beating them for sure.
So with that said, how surprised was you? How surprised was y'all to see how Rasheed Rice played yesterday?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a little surprised. I talked to a few people and they said he was in great shape. You know, he did a lot of mental reps. He even talked about it, kind of mimicking practices and game day, during the 6-week suspension. And, to realize he got 10 targets and was, got 7 completions and 2 touchdowns, quite honestly was a remarkable feat considering, you look at everything. He hasn't played a real game preseason. Yeah. But I mean, a real regular season game with the bullets flying and just everybody coming after him and going up against a legit defense. It was like he never left. And to recover from that injury, you're talking about, 3 separate areas in his knee which had to be repaired. So kudos to this kid who did his crime, served it, paid his penance, took his suspension like a man, stayed focused, came out and played. And I was surprised very much that he contributed as much as he did, and he looked just like the old Rasheed Rice. And when he gets more reps, I think this offense is going to be going above the 29 or 30 point margin that they're in now, because he's a game changer. He's the only guy I think can run the underneath routes. He's got good speed and power to break tackles. It's almost unfair with the receiving core is in Kansas City and what opposing defenses are going to have to deal with now that they've seen it for the first time, and how they defend it. It's going to be very difficult because the old man's out there. Look what he did for Travis Kelce. You know, Kelce is number 3 in touchdowns by tight end, receiving yards, and receptions. He's 36, and now that Rice is there, it opens up everything. So the fact that he played as well as he did, that's awesome news if you're a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. He's the golden jacket kid. You know what I mean?
I know.
I knew he was gonna come out and put on the show, man. And I can't wait to see what's happened against these Washington Commanders. You know, because I watched that game against the Cowboys. I said, shoot, if CD Lamb and George Pickens are doing that to them, imagine what Rice and Hollywood Brown and Worthy, even Thornton got into action as well. And also Bashard Smith looking like Jamal Charles coming out the backfield. With
all right. Hold on. Take a deep breath.
Just with the lesson of he's just 24. He ain't 25. You got to make it. He's making a name for his own number. He taking that Sky Moore and put it more, bringing that number right back up. But again, Rashee Rice, it wasn't no surprise to me how he played, man. I kind of seen this coming, man. The way the kid trained in the offseason, the way he was, the team was raving about him, and we've seen it his rookie season, right? We've seen his rookie season what he did against in the playoffs as well. The kid, like I've been saying, man, he reminds me of Larry Fitzgerald. He reminds me of Larry Fitzgerald. When he all gets it going, y'all going to come back to the tape and say, dang, Hense been saying he reminds you of Larry Fitzgerald. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, if we don't come back to the tape, I'm sure you will remind us.
Listen, I'll tell you what. Hey, I'll tell you what, real quick, guys. Larry Fitzgerald is a legend by itself, man. And no, it's not gonna be duplicated. So here's the thing with Rashee Rice. Am I surprised? Hell no, because we knew the ball was going through Rashee Rice. It wasn't a surprise. He didn't miss a beat, and I expected that. When Rashee Rice came back, we all knew everything was going through him. You know what I'm saying? I said, oh yeah, it's over. Rashee Rice is back. Now the playbook is now it's about to really spread open. They got the key weapon is back. So it wasn't a surprise for me. I'm just glad my man got out there, man. It was healthy, man. It was full go. But it wasn't a surprise. It wasn't nothing surprising about what Rashee Rice can do out there when he was out there. So it was a surprise. I'm just glad he's out there healthy and he playing ball. You know what I'm saying? And stop with those goddamn crossing routes, man. That's what getting everybody jacked up. You know what I'm saying? Keep away from the crossing route. And we good at it. That's what we good. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
It's kind of a staple in the offense, Coach. I don't think those are going away. For what they asked him to do, so I guess from the coaching perspective, they're looking at it and saying, okay, we really didn't ask him to do a lot. He didn't really run many downfield routes, which I think as he ramps up, you'll see that coming into the offense. I think they just wanted to get him the ball and get him just kind of getting used to getting hit, get in game shape, if you would, maybe pick up some nicks here and there and just kind of get used to playing NFL football again. But it was just very well designed, orchestrated. I mean, it was very well done, I think, by the offensive staff, how they got him involved and how active they got him involved. So from a surprise standpoint, maybe the overall usage in terms of he was the top target guy, 30%, I think it worked out to 30% of the targets. Guess who was second?
Bashard Smith.
Anybody else?
Travis Kelce. No, it wasn't Kelce.
I think it had to be Bashard Smith because he was getting on the.
Are you frozen or no? Okay, move, blink, so we know you're alive. You got something?
Was it Thornton? Was it my
Just
guy?
A simple
Thornton?
guess.
No.
Okay, so on brand. I knew you were going there.
Yeah.
All right. So here, these numbers are just for the coach. I know he loves this. So the target shares is Rice is 30%. Gold star for Hensley. Burchard had 15% of the targets. Hollywood and Xavier had 12 each. Travis 9%, Juju 9%, Taekwon 6, Pop 6, and Noah 3. So that isn't number of targets, obviously. It's just percentage of targets. And I think, like you said, Rasheed had 10. But I guess the point is that it was intentional. That's what they wanted to do. They were able to accomplish all of that stuff. Were we surprised? No, because everything they were saying and kind of being coy about it too, speaking of Coach Reed, was like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Whenever he says that, they've got a plan for that particular guy. So Rasheed,
everybody
again, just going to build from here. And at some point you'll see some of the downfield stuff with him too. Yeah.
All right,
do we have any idea what this means?
I don't know. I gotta ask Xavier where he be doing it.
Yeah, it's called Twinkle Twinkle.
Is it?
I don't know.
Because it's certainly caught on amongst the team. I think Justin Jefferson was doing it a while back.
One of our Chiefs blitzers will tell us what it is. I want to say one more thing on why I think Rasheed Rice played so well. Props to Xavier Worthy. I think he had like 40 snaps, and he was a decoy on so many plays, and that opened up things for Rice and Brown and Juju and Kelsey, and having his shoulder almost ripped out of its socket again. He came back in the game and played the rest of the game, so they pulled him in the third quarter like they did a lot of their starters. But I think that had a lot to do with some of the success of Rasheed Rice.
Tom Hood, did you watch the game last night? He plays for the Niners. He was on punt return. I think he was back there as the
MVS is a free agent.
No.
and that's where it goes to hell.
Practice squad addition. There's one slot.
Can MVS rush the passer?
No, with the injury to Norman Lott, they're going to need to check in on Wilkins and see if he's
we haven't heard much from Christian Wilkins. You would think when he got cut, I'm sure it was an injury thing or there was something going on there, but it's not like his name has really come up much.
You can't be kissing people in a lot.
The rumor on the street is he won't be ready to play until sometime in mid-November. If I'm the Chiefs, I probably bring him in this week, let Rick Burkhalter take a view at him and see how far he is. But they're going to have to get a nose tackle.
You're not feeling this smooch on the forehead. What's what?
I don't know.
He was just showing a little love.
Oh no, that's
a little TLC. A little TLC for your players. That's all it was.
Maybe that's what the Raiders
You can never have enough wide receivers.
And they could have used
them. Never have enough sugar.
And Raiders could have used him on Sunday because they needed it. So let's get to the next question.
Yeah. All right.
How important was the run game on Sunday?
Ooh. Well, listen, it's running back by committee. So they've got 150 some odd yards in rushing the last two games, and that includes a few scrambles by Patrick Mahomes. But I think Pacheco is the leading rusher again for the second week in a row. And it's going to be by committee. They got Pacheco who does his thing. And listen, I'm not a huge Pacheco guy, but I guess the reality of the situation is this. You're going to get some 4, 5, 6 yard bursts, and maybe you'll get 11, 12. I don't think you're going to see a home run play out of him where he bounces outside and runs down the sidelines. He hasn't shown me the ability that he can do that.
It's really not his game.
And it's not his game. And even though that's what I think the Chiefs are leaving yards, you've got Kareem Hunt, who's the third, fourth down specialist. And then, you bring in Mr. Smith.
That's where
and you can see the confidence. He's averaging 9.1 yards every time he touches the ball.
Hard way.
Especially catching. And I think Andy made a good point today to talk about, how he was a receiver at Miami and they switched him. So you even see him lining up in the slot. So I think his productivity and his plays are going to come. And I think he's eventually going to be the guy who, now that he understands the protection situations, I think you're going to see him get a lot more reps going forward. I think last week was kind of an anomaly. But this week they proved that if you give him the ball, he can make plays. So I think, listen, if the Chiefs run 125 to 140, 50 yards a game, and Patrick Mahomes is throwing 275 to 300, they're not going to lose another football game.
If they run for an average of 100 a game, they'll be way ahead of the game. They'll be, they don't need to go for 140 or 150.
They just don't need it because they
don't really take enough attempts unless they hit some big ones. But the other thing he had said about Smith as well is that he's not really he's kind of a slender guy, so he's never going to you're going to give him the ball 25 times, which I don't think anybody expects that. And he also went on to say that they've always used throughout his entire career, speaking of Coach Reed, 3 backs. So
that's never going to change.
You got your 3-headed monster. We will see more from Brashard, and I think maybe he could be kind of like that outside zone runner where the other two not so much. I think with those guys, because the run game is so diverse, they can run some power and get just 3 double teams and then let the chips fall where they may, because that's where Pops and Kareem Hunt are going to do their best. Other people, we've been saying it for a week, that's just kind of the way things should roll. If they keep trying outside zone with Pops, it rarely does it turn out well. So
he's a downhill runner. Pops is a downhill runner, guys.
Yeah, I know how it was important as a running game. I know everybody said we need to go trade for the running back, but more I look into it, they not, because they got their Swift Army knife, right? They got the power guy, they got the short yardage guy, and they got the speed guy, and them the guys they're gonna roll with. And you're gonna die by a million cuts. 3rd and 1, they're gonna bring Kareem Hunt, and Then on screen games they're gonna use Smith, and then for the regular running back carries is gonna be Isaiah Pacheco. So that's
it's working.
It would certainly be a luxury play if they went out and got another running back. Right. If they're going to make a move that's something that's going to directly impact the team, going to be interior D lineman or an edge rusher, one or the other. And with Lott being out, they probably lean towards an inside guy. So we'll see. But yeah, the running back thing, that would be completely a luxury, or somebody that they thought could be helping not just the end of this year, but be like a long-term solution. I don't think you're going to find that guy out there, and they normally draft. They'll draft another one next year in the 5th or 6th round and hope that guy gets it done.
The Chiefs does what works for them, guys. They do what works for them, and having Pac, Hunt, and Brad Smith in different formation, it works for them. They don't need big time running back in the backfield. They don't need the guy. They have good guys that work well with the scheme. So it's fine. They don't need them. The running game looked sweet yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Pac averages about 3.8. Hunt averages about 4.8 around that range. You know what I'm saying? We know what Brashard Smith is. We know who he is. So they fine. They're good.
I have some breaking news.
As long as you keep those safeties honest.
According to Adam Schefter, he expects Jaden Daniels will play Monday night against the Chiefs.
Yeah, bring him out there before we can put him back on his back.
Hey now, we never. Come on.
We don't want to injure anybody.
Back in a blue tent. That's what we're gonna do. I'm just.
Who doesn't want to see Daniels?
So it's nice to see that they're running the ball.
You see the energy he comes with now. Parking lot is in the blue tent for the long haul. He's done for the long haul because of that energy. Because of that damn energy.
Outside of getting Rasheed rolling yesterday, I don't know that you can really put a lot of stock in anything that happened yesterday. It's great. It's awesome for the defense. All those numbers that I read off, amazing. The run game, hey, we got some things going, and it's good to kind of feel some of that success in the run game. Pops is gaining some momentum and seems like he's getting a little bit better every week. So from that perspective, if they can kind of keep building on it, again, doesn't have to be a huge part of the offense, but they have to be able to run the ball when they need to, especially when they get leads in the 3rd and 4th quarter to milk the clock and keep moving the sticks. So
yeah, let's get to the last question. Look,
is the defense getting overlooked? in the wake of the Raiders win. Not by us, damn it. I've got the stats right here, Coach.
All right, you go first, Lou. You give us the stats.
Let's get it.
I don't want to read them again.
No.
Well, maybe they are because they were only on the field for 30 plays, right?
Yeah.
So there wasn't a lot of opportunities at plays, but Chris Jones did get a sack. Again, he didn't have to play like 70 plays, so he wasn't like, gasping for air on the sidelines. And, so it's just really hard to really make any sort of conclusion based on that game. It was such an outlier that I don't know. I think it was more Raiders inept than it was obviously the Chiefs played good defense and typically do, but when you watch what the product was on the other side, it had to be more that the Raiders were that inept. So I'm not going to not overlook, not going to I'm not going to underscore it either. I mean, that was great. I mean, the 0 point, all the numbers that just ridiculous.
Go ahead, Coach.
I'm not overlooking the Chiefs defense, man. I don't want to take away from the defense or from the Chiefs winning the side of the ball, but Brock Bowers didn't play. You know what I'm saying? Their main guy didn't play out there, So again, I'm taking it away from the Chiefs. The Chiefs look good. They've been playing great defense all year, but they've been playing well. It's not overlooked because the Chiefs been putting in work, so they've been playing phenomenal. But taking it away from them though. I don't want to be be that guy, but let's see what they do when Brock Bowers is at full strength. You know what I'm saying? When Brock Bowers out there,
Nick,
that's your guy, Nick. That's your guy. And he was out there, Nick. He would have showed that ass. That's what I'm saying. Man,
Brock Bowers, Michael Myers, Jason Freddy Cougar. It doesn't matter who was going to show up for the Raiders. Spags had the game plan for him. Spags, forget the defense is going and overlooked. Spags is getting overlooked for coaching jobs. So, if the man held a NFL offense to 95 points, that man deserved another shot at a coaching job. Now, let me stop talking about it because I don't want him to leave. I want him to stay. I hope I hope he turn it down. I hope his wife say, hey, I love it here in Kansas City. I love feeding the guys on Sunday, giving, sending guys dishes and stuff like that with the team. But other than that, man, the defense did get overlooked in the Raiders win because people are saying, oh, the Raiders doing that full strength. Oh, this player, that player is out. That's the reason why it's a 53-man roster, right? Because these guys, they got drafted in the NFL. They are meant to play in the NFL as well. Some guys step up and that could be their time to shine, right? Kurt Warner, right? This could be his time to shine. It could be other guys' time to shine, and they didn't shine against Spags on a nice Sunday morning, noon. Spags woke up. He opened up the defense and said, look, you only get 95 yards playing today. It looked like somebody new playing Madden. Looked like they first time playing Madden, and they ain't getting put up no yards. And they just sat there and took the blowout and quit it. It was your opponent had left the game. That's what it looked like. All you see, all the bubblegum rapper over there on Pete Carroll's side, right? He was over there chewing. I thought his jaws got to have 6 packs in them. How much he was chewing gum on that sideline. Hey, the defense got overlooked. Spags came out there and cooked, and that's what he did. They just got strong jaw muscles, huh? You trying to say Spags got strong jaw muscles? He got 6 packs in that bug. He got superior jaw strength. Go ahead, Nick. Did he freeze?
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't think they're going to get overlooked because you mentioned the Spags factor. Let's be honest. He's always got exotic blitzes. I think they're a better unit now. Now, the loss of Norman Lott's going to be pretty big. That's a big hole they're going to have to fill. I like Derek Nott. He's a nice player, but he's not a guy who can play every snap. And right now they don't have a backup nose tackle, so they're going to have to come up with something. Whether they make a trade or take one of the free agents that are available and see if they can get him in shape. But listen, I like the way the defense was playing yesterday. I like the way they played against the Lions. I think they kind of got the message. I think the Jacksonville loss will ultimately be the wake-up call of the season for the wake-up call for the defense. It's a wake-up call for Chris Jones. In the last 2 games, Chris Jones has returned to playing inside. instead of being outside as a pass rusher.
Inside.
Yeah, I know you said it in your
Plays
report.
outside like 5 snaps a game. But come on, what are we talking about here?
No, Lou, no. If you go back and look in the last year or two, he played a lot more outside.
Lou always trying to store up something. Lou is like that kid in class and always storing up something. He said he's about to store
up. Me on this one. I know what I'm talking about here. He played a lot more on the outside. Wanted him to because they didn't have another pass rusher. Put him inside where he belongs, and this defense is a lot better. Just my opinion.
Lou's that kid, be like that smart ass kid that know his shit, but then be blurting out shit. That's Lou. Like, Lou, you're right. Can you go to be quiet, Lou? I'm just saying, teacher. I'm just saying. I know what I'm talking about. That's wrong.
Yeah, right.
That is wrong. Right. Go to the principal's office. Go to the principal's office. And don't get mad at me because I'm right. Don't get mad at me because I'm right.
Go ahead, Lou. What you got to say?
What I said before. I mean, I don't have anything more to add. As far as I guess the rotation now changes a little bit. Now again, Norman Lott, because of the injuries, it wasn't like he was playing a ton of snaps anyway. And still, his strength is at, again, as the 3 technique that is Chris Jones's normal position as well. So Jerry Tillery is kind of like the next man up as far as that piece goes. And then Noddy comes in mostly like a first, sometimes a second down player, but he's not going to be a full-time player, is what Nick had mentioned. And you see him, like he makes the run stuff and then he's running off the field, getting some oxygen, getting ready for if they get the first down, he comes back out. But practice squad, who knows what's going to happen there. But Tillery's going to have to really step up his game. He's been, he's the free agent that they paid to kind of play that spot. And we'll just have to move forward, see if there's somebody on the practice squad. I know some names have already been thrown out there, but I'm sure that's Veach is on it. I'm sure he's been on it for a few weeks, knowing that Lott's wasn't 100% to begin with. So we'll see where it goes.
Get used to the name Broderick Martin. He's the next guy up.
Could be a guy, right? He was on the practice squad.
He's a rookie. He's got a lot of talent. He's 330 pounds, which is kind of what they need.
Can't coach that.
Throw him in the middle and take your chances.
Take it. But other than that, man, if Watkins if he's still out there, he's still out there. So he's one of the top 10, top 5 defensive tackles.
I mean, he's
Christian Wilkins.
He's injured.
When he's right. Yeah, I mean, he was one of the highest paid. Miami paid, the Raiders paid him a ton of money.
Yeah,
as a free agent.
Or something like that.
You think you go back, as bad as the Dolphins are right now, if they had somehow been able to keep a lot of these guys that they let go, they'd be a damn good football team. You wonder what the hell's happening in that front office.
That ain't happening.
Do you think, before we close out, do you think any other besides the coach that got fired in Tennessee, do you think Pete Carroll's on the hot seat after Sunday's beat down?
Not till after the year. He may be one and done. It just depends on how much pressure Tom Brady puts on Mark Davis to make a change and who Brady thinks could be the guy. Now Brady was all in on Pete Carroll and he was all in on Geno Smith. So if those are the kind of moves that Tom Brady's going to make as an executive, they're not going to be good for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, who are you going to bring in? I mean, it's just an awful situation when you do that. I mean, they saw it with Antonio Pierce. They got a little bump when they named him, that year that he was the interim. But then they give him the job, and obviously that didn't turn out well. So I mean, he's whatever. Pete's Pete. He's as long as if they feel that the culture is right, maybe it's like just they're devoid of a little talent on both sides of the ball, that if he can kind of keep that together and they keep playing hard, I think that's all they care about this season at this point.
Do you think the Miami Dolphins head coach is done?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, it's
he could be gone this week.
Go ahead, Nick.
And then the fire sale is going to begin. I mean, if I'm the Dolphins and I'm the Raiders right now, I look at where they're at. I look at their quarterback situation. I look at all the perceptions. If I'm ownership, I'm saying, okay, let's just go to the GM, whoever it is, even if he's temporary, and say it's time to get some draft assets and start building up for the draft and bring in a new fresh wave of players in. The Raiders are only going to be as competitive as their starting quarterback, and the personnel, the Dolphins have got all that offensive talent, but they just don't have the right quarterback. And I'm sorry, Tua is not that guy, and he's never going to be that guy. His performance yesterday against the Browns was just abysmal. So if I'm those teams, I'm gutting it. I'm trading my best players.
You left out one team,
over.
the Arizona Cardinals. You think they coach going to be fired?
Bro, watch your tone, bro. Watch your tone.
I don't think
your tone.
When you look for somebody, to get fired, you look at games like yesterday, like Miami going up to Cleveland, and just I didn't really watch any of that game, but for them to get run out of the building by a Browns team that's having trouble scoring points. Yeah. Now they got a damn good defense. You got to give them that. But if the team isn't playing hard and they're not doing well, that's I think when you see a change, because they don't want it to go completely to hell.
Reflects
more breaking news from Adam Schefter in regards to the Washington/Commanders/Redskins defensive end Dorrance Armstrong suffered a season-ending knee injury per Dan Quinn. He is out for the year.
Wow.
Man.
That's brutal. They got a lot of
going around
right now.
Well, Chiefs, that should be an easy win, man. Guys, hey,
I think the future head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs is on that coaching staff too.
Right,
so
that's what I want. That's gonna be a good. This the matchup I've been looking for. Spags against what's his name? Kingsbury. I want to see this. I want to see
I think Cliff's gonna be playing with both arms tied behind his back, because
probably
if Terry McLaurin is still out, you're missing the quarterback. Debo's been beat up. I think the receivers yesterday were Luke McCaffrey, which he's not bad, but he didn't start playing receiver till I think his third or fourth year in college. He started out as a quarterback. I can't even Chris Moore. I mean, just basically guys that would be your fourth, fifth, and sixth receivers, and that's who he's depending on. And then Zach Ertz, who I think is about 47 years old. So that's a tough one for Cliff.
All right, I got one more stat for you, Lou. You'll like this one. Ready?
Hey, coach is the stat guy.
There were 19 running backs drafted on day 3. 19 running backs were drafted on day 3 of the 2025 draft. And Brashard Smith ranks number 5 in scrimmage yards through week 7.
And he's a, less than part-time player.
Less than part-time.
I mean, for the number of snaps. I mean, that was kind of an outlier yesterday, because they just left him in when everybody else went, just
and
went
that
out.
Line was
so the fourth quarter, they know you're running, whatever, and they're just teeing off. So that I felt bad for him, but hey, man, you take those carries when you can get them. I'm sure, he'll take some lesson in some of this and kind of say, hey, this is part of the gig, man. So God bless him. 7th round pick. One of my favorite players in the draft. I don't think I have to say that again.
Well, we know what his Christmas present is going to be.
We agree.
We agree. But other than that, man, you want to thank you guys for joining in. And like Sam said, next man up. We got to have that mentality. The Chiefs, man, again, I can't praise Kingsley enough, man. The kid is looking like he looked like he found his position. And the way they're using Wayne Morris at fullback is amazing, man. They get him coming, they cut him at short yards, they put Wayne Morris, put him in at fullback. Hey, I thought nobody was going to do it. I said, hey, I do it sometimes, man. Sometimes
you're on the roster. Come on, carve out a niche. Whatever you can do to get on the field, man.
Other than that, man, hey, we want to thank you guys for joining in. We got Chiefs Who coming up on Wednesday, and who's in the lead? Look.
Well, it's over there.
somewhere.
So I think we have 2 people at the top with 2, but I think we also have like 3 or 4 other people that have one right guess, if you would, or answer. So yeah, it's great. The participation and right guesses. This is the best and the most that we've had, most participation. So I'm thankful for that. I'm glad you guys liked the segment. And yeah, we'll see you Wednesday where you get another opportunity.
Yeah, and what's going to be the surprise? The prize for On Chiefs Who is coming up on Wednesday, Nick.
I don't know. We'll come up with something.
We've still been waiting on this prize, sir.
It's week 8.
All right. I will have a picture sent to you Wednesday morning. I promise.
Yeah. Okay.
Please tell me you don't do this to Emily. I mean, God bless her. I promise, honey, I'll get it done this week.
No.
With that said, guys, we'll see you guys Wednesday. Enjoy your Red Monday. Sit back and enjoy.
Victory Monday, baby.
And we don't have no football this weekend, but we have it on Monday again. At Arrowhead.
Primetime Chiefs, baby.
Primetime Chiefs. So we'll see you guys this Wednesday. And somebody's gonna be in a league.
Team on me.
Peace out.
Team.